Actually, since the BBC fired me, the buffoons, I've been looking for alternative modes of accommodation. And I found it in the heart of Sussex. Delicious countryside, greenery everywhere, potatoes, carrots, all planted and ready to move into Petal Cottage. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, it's so much nicer here living in the country, you know, than living in town. I've only just come to appreciate it really recently because in town you don't get many trees around, and since I got here I've learnt all the names of them, you know. That one's a yew tree, that one there, and behind it, over there, up there, that one there, is an oak tree. There's millions of those. I thought they were going out, but they're rampaging on. That one's a conker tree, and that's a slightly tattered rose tree, which has got the mange a bit, but we're doing something about that, pulling the leaves off. That's my good deed for the day. Over here, we've got the sewing ensemble. Since coming out here, I've got incredibly butch, you know. Left all my London habits behind and started sewing. It's very good for the metabolism. Like, I only do simple ones to start with, you see, like. Over here, in an attempt to prove to me that it's cheaper to live in the country than town, my wife's planted a vegetable patch, saying that we'll save in the long run. But she defeats it by rushing out and buying chickens and things. And ducks, she's buying ducks now, saying that that'll save on eggs. Fool. However, we get woken up by a cuckoo every morning, you know, here, about 7 o'clock. So when people say, "Ah, the rustic cuckoo," it's all a load of flange, because they keep you awake from 7 o'clock onwards. In fact, you can hear one now, can you? Dubbing a cuckoo. Cuckoo! Right. Cabbage, sprats, radishes, and the bit you're standing on used to be mushrooms. And cabbages, sprats, sausages, and cucumber. See? Who needs the BBC when you plant your own? Every palatial home must have a gardener, of course. But we couldn't afford one, so we got Joe. This is Joe. Hello, Joe.
Hello, Ken.
Joe does a great imitation of a dog fight. Can you do BBC Two, your imitation, please, Joe?
Certainly, immediately.
Right.
I shall indulge. Where's the dog?
Oh, no, here. Solo.
Was that a dog?
Yeah. Great imitation, this, of a dog fight. Vicious dog fight. With the snorting in.
Here he is.
It's like watching a Christian being savaged. Except Joe isn't a Christian, he's sort of freelance. Give him your arm. We haven't eaten today.
Sufficient?
That wasn't the one you did yesterday, the snorting and the one you did at your wife.
I can't repeat myself. Everything's sort of spontaneous with me.
Is it?
Yes, of course. Jazz dog fights.
Spontaneous gardener.
Oh, delicious.
Would you like to come inside? This is the main grooving room, and centuries ago, you did pick a nice day, didn't you? Centuries ago, the square of the village used to sit here and watch them roasting peasants on the fire there, screaming in agony, like the old Romans used to do with Christians. And there's an old hood there, fire hood. We were thinking of doing a kitsch copper dome thing for the fire to go up, but we thought that looked very Richard the Lion art, with old bits hanging off it. We're trying to keep the place like it was, like it used to be, in the 1300s, you see. And over here, if you can follow me over here, we've got a rustic bread oven. You get rid of those brand name firelighters. And out here, you see they used to stick lighted woody bits in there and wait until the bricks were really red hot. Take all the wood out and stick dough in there, and it used to rise up, and that's how they used to eat bread. But nowadays we just go down to the village for it. Because you can't grow your own bread. That would be silly, wouldn't it? Which disc jockey would be complete without a music room? And here's mine, in which much music is to be heard.
I look high, I look low, I'm looking everywhere I go, looking for a home in the heart of the country.
And up here, we've got the rustic upstairs department. God. Primitive. Oh, by the way, mind your heads. La cloakroom, de cowfold. We're a bit, La pelmet, de cowfold. And this is our bedroom through here. Mind your head. Mind you, they say you only bump your head twice, and after that, it takes care of itself. This is the Palacey Hall bedroom of the stars. And it's all held up. In fact, the whole house is held up by that thing up there. That's called a crown-pierced beam, that. And it looks quite rustic and pretty. Look out there, that's what I wake up to every morning, that divine sight. The hand of God working wonders at 7 o'clock in the morning, woken up by that bloody cuckoo and wring its neck. Still. Mind you, one has to go back to town every now and then, you know. Like tomorrow, I've got to go and do a press reception for my triumphant return to the BBC. They're putting me on Radio Bristol for 4 hours at £12.10 an hour. We should have rented a room in the Hilton and had a good piss up, shouldn't we? I'm sure if Radio Bristol had been running this, we'd have got a room in the Hilton, wouldn't we? The Bristol Hilton.
Well, there they are, the people from the press asking searching, provocative questions of great moment. Actually, there were so many reporters there that we really thought something smashing was going to happen, like a fire, but no such luck. And then the man from Strange Positions magazine said,
Do you feel bitter about this, the demise, your last demise from Radio 1? Do you still feel sorry about that, very sorry about that? And if you do, don't you feel, that you've been in some way browbeaten into coming back because this is the only outlet in radio in this country, the corporation?
I don't feel strange about my dismissal. It got a hell of a lot of publicity. I've never been in the Daily Mirror more in my life. Or the Sun, or any other newspaper. I got so many front pages, it was ridiculous. I'm thankful for that. I'm still living on it. No, I look upon Radio Bristol as a cuddly little radio station that I'll be able to groove on, you see.
For how long?
4 weeks. But 4 weeks today means maybe I can approach Radio Solent, which is my local radio station, tomorrow and say, I've been on Radio Bristol, and they'll say, oh, well, that must mean you're all right now, so we'll have you for a whole series.
What about Radio 1, Kenny?
Yeah, what about Radio 1? Phew. Isn't it strange that I'm being filmed by one end of the BBC about being sacked by the other? I'll never get back. No.
Then the press photographers got to work. Do you know what they wanted me to do? They wanted me to stand in front of Broadcasting House doing rude things. The very idea of it. Anyway, I declined on the grounds that it might hurt somebody, namely me. I've got a wife, 14 acres, 4 chicks and a Great Dane with 3 cats, 2 hens and a cock to support, ducky.
It's all a con, you know.